All right, welcome back to Much More Ado About Nothing. I am Susan.
I'm Ben.
And I'm Francis on the electrophone.
Yeah. So
There's going to be a funny line. Eventually, I'm going to have a funny line about that.
I feel like if it's different every time, that's going to be a funny bit.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. But anyway, anybody, yes. I have a news story. Does everyone else have a news story?
I have a story.
All right.
Go ahead, Susan. You go
All
first.
Right. I don't know why.
I thought we were just asking.
Yeah, I just want everyone to raise your hand if you know anything about the news.
I don't.
Oh, okay.
I know that it's northeast, south, and west.
Yes. Very good.
I know that.
Yes. All right. So I have an article. So there's this giant carved into the side of an English countryside. It's called, I'm going to pronounce this incorrectly, Cerne Abbas giant in England. Let me find in Dorset, England. But it's just a huge giant carved in the mountain. Mm-hmm. And it has an erection, a huge one. And scientists had a giant one. Yes. So scientists didn't really know how old it was. Some guessed it was really, really old. Some attributed it to like the Greco-Roman era. Some thought it was mocking Oliver Cromwell. No one knew how old it was. And then someone had a theory that it was carved around the body of an actual giant, which that guy shouldn't be a scientist, right?
You know what? I'm gonna agree to disagree on that. I'm just gonna say that takes some balls to go along with that big penis. To say that was a real giant.
Yeah, that was a real guy.
That takes some balls to go with the penis.
But finally in July 2020, they did some soil sampling. It got delayed because of
soiled samples.
They soiled samples. They got some soiled samples from the giant's erection. And they found these microscopic snails. Little snails.
I have the same problem. I understand.
So the big giant had a tiny little snail inside of it. But they used that. It was a certain species that they knew when it was introduced to England. They were able to pinpoint when this giant was carved based on these snails. And they find out it was likely AD 908. It's like the Saxon period. But my favorite quote from this is one of the archaeologists who had guessed wrong said, "It turns out we don't know anything." Which is like, why?
So that guy who thought it was a real giant,
right? Like, it was pretty much this archaeologist is like, you know what? We don't know anything we're talking about. It's all made up. Like,
why is this guy not on one of those ED commercials?
Yeah.
Why is the statue?
Yes, he should be. He should be like the mascot on the box.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Here,
how big he is?
In Yorkshire, England, we have the largest penis.
Let me see if it says how big it is. Well, it's big. It's
always like a woman, always saying size doesn't matter, but then she goes right for the size.
I'm desperately searching for the size.
Yeah, I know you are.
It doesn't say in the article. That seems like an oversight.
Yeah, that does seem like a mistake. That does. Yeah. But you know what? I want to get to this disease this giant has. Like, he's got snails.
He's got medieval snails
in his pee-pee. Could you imagine if they had to catheter this guy?
Ugh.
That's ouch. That's that burns. That burns. But at that time, the Saxons or the Sexies maybe. We're probably using mercury to try to cure that.
They actually may have been, or at least leeches.
Yeah, leeches.
They use the leeches to suck the snails out of you,
right?
Out of your blood, or whatever.
That's so painful.
Your whatever.
I'm having sympathy giant pains right
now. But yeah, so I still don't know if they really know about why it was made, but they know when it was made.
I know why it was made. I know why it was made. It was probably some woman saying, size doesn't matter, but I'll take it.
Oh, I have to correct myself. I misread the quote. It says it turns out we don't know everything, so it's not as funny as I thought.
No, I think anything's, but he meant anything.
Yeah.
You know, I think that next thing you know, they'll be saying it's some sort of like energy, you know, station that the ancient druids were using along with Stonehenge.
Yeah.
Sure.
And that's
he probably built Stonehenge with his penis.
Probably. I mean, that makes the most sense.
Yeah, exactly.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You know, I just want to say and again, I'm going off on a tangent here, but sympathy pains. Okay, now I was saying I had sympathy pains. Now, you know where sympathy pains really get me? Really, when somebody like talks about broken fingers, I just like, broken fingers. You know, like showing me broken fingers or anything. That one I feel. Anything else, I'm like, but broken fingers. Is there any like body part you like? You'll feel it like?
Whenever somebody's eye gets injured in like a movie or something, it freaks me out.
Yeah.
Like that's the one thing, and I'm like, nope, I'm out. No thanks.
Yeah. Like there was that basketball player like a year or two, maybe 3 ago, where he got like it was a big scrum for the ball, and they literally knocked his eyeball out of the socket. Oh, yeah, see, like that, yeah. And like they showed it was like kind of hanging out, and they put it back in. They not there on the court.
Oh, pops it back in. All right, get back in the game.
Right.
Yeah. But that one is that eyeball is a good one. Knee, anything with the knee, like a dislocated knee.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Knees and ankles.
Yeah.
I sprained my ankle really bad in high school, so whenever there's like an ankle or knee sprain, I'm like, ugh. It takes me.
Yeah, that's another one. Yeah, those are the ones that really kind of get me. That like sympathy, fingers, but the eye. The eye is a good one because that one. That's like a broken nose doesn't bug me. I'm like, whatever.
Now,
somebody losing a tooth.
Francis, as a fan of the comic book genre,
yes.
Did you see that movie with the kid who was supposed to be like an evil Superman?
Yes.
What was it called?
Right.
Brightburn.
Brightburn. Okay.
Yes.
There's an awful, disturbing scene with an eye injury in that movie. That
I don't remember that, but I do know the movie. I thought that movie was disturbing.
It was. It was way more violent than I thought.
Way more violent, way darker. I thought it would be like a fun, not fun.
No,
just fun.
No. Like, it was like a superhero meets that Twilight Zone episode with that kid who can control everything, and then then you put in like a horror movie, smash all of that together, and you have Brightburn, which is very disturbing. Adam, did you see Army of the Dead, the new Netflix film?
No, not yet. That's the news.
Okay, so next time people tune in, we're gonna do a review of that. But before we get there, I do have another article.
Yes,
great.
Another article. It is about a woman in Russia who strangled her husband with her buttocks.
Whoa.
Yes, Tatiana O, her real name, who weighs more than 100 kilograms. I don't know how much that is.
I don't know what that means. Yeah.
It's got to be light, though. It's got to be light. Maybe? Yeah. I don't know. Can you do like a search? Because I can't.
We're on it. Okay,
good. So she sat on his neck during a fight. She allegedly refused to let go until her partner, Adair, begged forgiveness. I don't know if he could do any forgiving because her buttocks was in his face.
Yeah. So 100 kilograms.
Yeah.
Is 220.462 pounds.
Whoa, I was off. I thought she was a light thing, but no.
So they were having a fight, and she sat on him.
Yes.
And then like clenched her buttocks around his neck.
Yeah, paramedics pronounced the husband dead at the scene. So he didn't even go, like he was gone. Like she was like,
so did the paramedics look at her and say, I hate to watch your murder weapon leave, but I love to watch your murder weapon go?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I mean, I'm sure this happens in Russia all the time, but it just seems shocking here in America. Okay.
That's pretty shocking. Now, do you think that was the real story? that they were actually having a fight, or do you think this is a weird sex thing?
Ooh, you know what?
That's
That
a
is
great
good
point.
question. That is a good question. I mean, I think that I would almost tend to believe it was a murder situation, or like that's how he really died, was during an argument, because I think that that would be her defense.
Yeah.
But the daughter, I guess, one of the man's daughter saw her dad pinned face down on the bed, but he was on a bed.
There's a lot of
There's
a lot of things you'd have to deal with in therapy if you were that daughter, like watching your dad get murdered, but also walking in on that whole scenario.
Yeah.
That is wild.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know how you. I don't know how she thought this was going to end well.
Right.
He can't respond. She's demanding that he begs forgiveness.
How long was he suffocating for?
It doesn't really give me a time here.
Oh man,
that's long enough to die.
Yeah.
Long enough to die. Yeah, she's facing a murder charge. She's 45 years old. He looks younger than her.
Okay.
But they do show a photo of them, and they've got an alcoholic beverage. So I'm gonna assume alcohol was involved.
Okay.
Maybe.
In this situation. I mean, probably. I mean, they're in Russia.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
But that's like one of those things where, if you saw that in a movie, my mother killed my father. How did she die? She strangled him with her buttocks.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be ridiculous.
Yeah.
But no way. I want revenge on the mountain. The mountain.
Yeah.
No, that's just, you wouldn't believe that. So but here I just want to try taking a shot at the place in Russia, pronouncing the place in Russia.
Sure.
Where this is from. It was Novoskunetsk.
Great job.
Thank you. I think that sounds right. Do you think they should have gone to counseling first?
Before murder? Yeah, I'd say so.
Or at that point, do you think maybe it's too late? Now, I think Ben had a good point, though. What if this is just something that's out of control, like a little sexcapade that went out of control?
Yeah, because it could be.
That's so much more realistic, right?
Yeah.
Like,
oh yeah.
Just things got out of control, and
what would let's say it wasn't a sexcapade thing, but you killed your husband or your spouse, let's just say, but now that you hear the police cars or the ambulance, whatever, what are you gonna do to, like, the first thing, like, I gotta make it look like a sexcapade so I can have an excuse? What would you do to make it look like it was a sexcapade? What would you do? Like, I'm thinking I would quickly put on like a sexy outfit.
Sure.
Yeah.
If I'm a girl, I'm putting on my sexy cheekless bottoms.
Maybe, turn on some tunes and light some candles.
Have some scarves tied to the headboard, like there was. I don't know how this is weird.
I don't know how this works. I'm going by what I've seen in movies.
Yeah.
I'm not saying. I don't know.
Yeah.
Because I would have no idea, but I'm just saying, I think mood music, I think some candles would be a good idea. I think if you have
a bottle of champagne.
There you go.
If you have
some flower petals.
What's that?
Some nice flower petals or something.
Yeah. If you have anything made of leather, quickly put that on yourself or on your dead spouse.
Yes.
Like, put it, like, I don't care if it's a belt, like maybe even one of those little roach clips that used to get at carnivals. Put it on his ears. Something. Make
it look like some sort of kink.
You got to make it look like some sort of kink. Like, I don't care. Maybe run and get like a jar of peanut butter and a knife, or like something out of the kitchen that looks like it could fit certain places.
Yeah.
Get that. Kind of, do a little, just put some peanut butter around, do that.
Yeah.
Just, quickly make it look like a sexcapade gone wrong. I would think even in Russia, that's excusable.
Yeah.
I mean, it didn't work for that that guy with no legs in New Zealand or Australia, the runner.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Remember? No, it wasn't. Remember, he walked in on his girlfriend. Not walked in on the girlfriend. He went to the bathroom and he thought his house was getting broken into. It was that. Who's that guy?
Oh yeah, I do know what you're talking about. I don't remember his name.
He has the little blades, the Blade Runner guy.
Yes.
And he kind of walked in and he thought there was an intruder and he shot and he killed his girlfriend. But then he got convicted. So
yeah. Well, didn't he shoot her like a bunch of times?
Yeah, I mean, less than that cop in that one place, but more than that cop in that other place.
Yeah.
So that's really wrong. That is really wrong, and that's why I was trying to be ambiguous.
Yeah.
So
well handled, thank you.
Yeah, no, that was wrong. I admit that was wrong. But all I'm saying is he did not. The runner guy, didn't. He was convicted. So
yeah.
So his story was someone was breaking into his house, but it was just his girlfriend.
It was his girlfriend, like in the bathroom.
Something like that. Somebody was in the bathroom and somebody was in the bed.
Yeah.
And somebody else was there.
No, it was just the two of them.
Oh.
His story is that he thought someone was breaking in, so he got his gun and shot them a bunch of times.
But it was just his girlfriend.
Yes.
Okay, yeah. And he got convicted?
Yeah. That is a bad story. That's sort of like he should have made it look like a sexcapade. But he should have been, where's the peanut butter? I need my legs. Okay, I got to stop now. I got to stop. This thing is going to come back to haunt.
Absolutely canceled.
Yeah.
Yeah, this episode is going to get me in so much trouble. And again, I'm just trying to make jokes. I mean, what? None of them work. I admit it. It's not funny. It is not funny. And you know what? Sometimes I'm just like out there like a fisherman, throwing out the reel, hoping to bring in a joke. And every once in a while I catch one. Mostly I just get the reel back.
You get a lot of tin cans.
Yeah, a lot of tin cans, old boot. Maybe a prosthetic.
On that note, good night, everybody.
What is wrong with me?
Another episode of Much More Ado About Nothing. And thanks for joining us. And we're going to have a little bit of outro music in just a second.
Yes.
It starts to play, okay, here it is. Thanks for joining us again.